Good afternoon. I want to go through our program and give you an orientation as to what all these tabs are for and when you should use them. Well, scroll over here and get to the first one. We are on Hello from Bruce and Quant. That's exactly what it is, hello. We're going to give you a little overview of the 4 programs we built. The first 2 that are in this program that you own are Fast and Light, and they talk together. The third one that's been included is also Pro. We did not include Elite because it's a Visual Basic on top of Excel and it won't work on the Macintosh, and we wanted to be sure that all our buddies in the Mac world could use our tools for structuring their next deal. So if you want to contact us, here's where you do it. We'd love to hear from you, good or bad. Drop us an email. Now, that's me, Bruce Bedeau. This is Glenn Gutierrez. He's my marketing genius. If you want to do well, you get yourself a young business partner. And, hey, a good pet isn't a bad idea either. So here's Gerard the camel. All right, enough of that. So let's go into the entry examples, which is the next tab. There are some samples here of what goes on. We've got a lot of pop-ups. We built our program around incrementation, and so we use spin buttons a lot. A lot of people hate them, but you'll see after a while why we use them, because you can increment and see and make some adjustments. There are no perfect answers when you're structuring a deal. It's basically fuzzy logic, and if you want to do fuzzy logic, you want to make changes fast, spin buttons are in or a must. So sometimes you get a spin button with a red number, and you can actually change these numbers, and you can make them real big. But as soon as you click the spin button, it'll bring it down to the limit, which is 30,000. And that's one of the challenges that we've had. What if you want a $5 million number? Well, what we do is we simply multiply this by 1,000, and that's how we get it. Now, if you want an odd number, you could still go 12, and there you are. There's 1245. Or if you wanted a very large number, oops. If you wanted a very large number, there you are. It's actually bigger than you can see. So we'll just do that. Okay, so don't forget there's lots of help. Click on things and you'll see lots of hints. Okay, so now we've got the Shark Cap table fast. This is our basic introductory tool. It allows you to either buy or sell shares. In this case, you got the sell shares. In this case, you got the buy shares, and there's a little coloration change there. Let's try this one again. Okay, so we finished entry examples. I'm going to do entry examples again. Okay, so the next tab we're going to go to is the entry examples. The most important part of the entry example really is the spin button. Now, we sometimes use spin button to do a concatenated statement where you're seeing words and numbers together with the numbers changing. Sometimes you'll just see a regular number. And by the way, anytime you see red, you can change it. But with the case of spin buttons that come with form controls, you can only go to 30,000. So if you want to go past 30,000, you see this, you actually have to put the number in by hand. And sometimes there's a limit because we don't want the numbers to get too big. For example, here we can make a large number, but it's because we have a formula inside here that gives you 1,000 times whatever's in the spin button. Now you can change this if you want. You can just go like that, or you could zero it out, or in this case you could make a very big number. Now if you get too big, you'll probably see that, and will probably prevent you from putting in such a large number with a data validation. We've been pretty careful about all that. So notice what happens. As soon as you click the spinner, you come back down within the range. So there it is. Now we're going to go on to the next one, a green Shark Cap table fast. Now this is our primary introductory tool. It does talk with Light. It does not talk to Pro. But in conjunction with Light, it's a very attractive tool. It also, in this particular instance, allows you to sell shares and it allows you to buy shares. Let's see if we can get buy shares. There we go. Notice we got a little different color here. basically buying shares is if somebody calls you up the telephone and says, hey, I got a great deal for you. So they're trying to do what you've been doing when you're selling, except now you're buying. Is it a fair deal? Use Shark Cap Table to determine it. We'll tell you all about it in our various tutorials, but basically you can do two things here. So let's move on to the red tabs. The next tab is the detailed founder valuation. This is central to any analysis that's done, whether it be fast, light, or pro. You have to do your valuation, and you need to be able to demonstrate why, and it really helps to answer these 11 questions as to why you're valuable. Now, here's the sister program to FAST. It's actually the big sister, and it allows you to do a lot of interesting things. Most importantly, it concatenates a bunch of numbers with words and gives you some pitches for your business plan. Let's do this one again. The next tab is detailed founder valuation. This is very important. It is used as a basis to argue why you're worth what you are worth. We've broken it down into 6 components. And you can actually change these little guys in here and put your own numbers in. But we don't want to get into exactly how you do it. Just need to tell you that you got a detailed founder valuation. Use it and read these 11 questions. It'll help you a lot in demonstrating what you're worth. All right, next tab is the Shark Cap Table Lite. And this one is the one that talks to FAST. And it's a powerful tool. There's a lot in it. Not so light, but it's a great tool, and one of the best things it does is it actually creates a stand and deliver pitch. In addition to, we're going over to the third red tab, an executive summary, where you have to write that, but the rest of all this is in there automatically from the information that was calculated in the prior sheet. Well, now we're going to scroll over because we need to see the last bits here. Okay. Here is the Shark Cap Table Pro. I'm going to go all the way to the top. This actually is the simplest of all the tools, but it's used by professionals such as venture capitalists or, say, VCs. And the reason they would do it is that there are a number of founders, there are a number of option players. Everybody still has to do this analysis. But the key difference here is now you have Series A shares plus Series A convertible debt. You've seen this before, which is just the revenue projection, so you see what kind of a multiple you're selling out at. We have 2 very nice dashboards. This one really is just an entry dashboard. You can quickly put in some numbers. This is the one where you actually make the deal. You can see the internal rates of return, and you can actually do the voting control dependent upon whether you want founders and option holders to vote or just founders. And over here, same sort of thing, except this time you can either do Series A and convertible votes, or the Series A votes, or neither Series A or convertibles vote. Very handy little thing here. And right here is where you actually enter the data, and you can see the interrelationships along the top here. We do some concatenation. We give you the offering narrative, and we give you the investment returns narrative, which includes preferential returns, something neither of the prior programs have. There are preferential royalties, but we're not using them. Preferential returns are entirely different, and we'll explain what those are in this tutorial. In the tutorial that's for this program. Now we have several more nice tables: investment returns, capitalization summary with voting shares. You'll see that right here, and that, of course, is being driven by up here. So the last one is the summary of the founder and the pre-money exit returns. All right, so here's this more founder sheet. These are the first 5. Then you can put in up to 25 more for a total of 30. And here's our executive summary. It's a little shorter summary of the opportunity because we have the discussion of the offering with the offering table, and then we have the returns with the returns table. Now, you can use the lexicon in any one of these 3 programs because the terms and the terminologies are used throughout the investment banking deal-making world. So here are some great definitions, and helps you get a handle on what's really going on. Let's go to the next one, Fastlight Pro Elite Comparison. Well, we included this just so you can get an idea what's going on. This colored section here is handy because it gives you a very basic definition of when you probably want to use the tools. There are real specific details of what each tool does, and of course there is some overlap, will be found in this table here. System requirements for either Windows or Mac. And by the way, all but Elite will work on the Mac and the Windows. Only Elite works on Windows. Or if you happen to have a Mac that's equipped with the Windows simulation, you can use it.